Hey everyone, it's Sarah. I have another process video for you here using the Marks & Company kit from Studio Calico, and this is the 6th layout that I have made with this kit. And my goal in this one is to use up that Amy Tangerine cut apart paper that I'm literally cutting up all those little 3x4 cards, that all the images that came on the paper. You can either cut those up and use them individually, or you can just use the background as just one full pattern piece of paper. But I really liked them, so I wanted to go ahead and do a grid type pattern on this page using all of those cards. So that's what I'm going to do. And this page is about a group of women that I used to scrapbook with when I lived in Tucson. And there are 13 people in that picture, 14 people, and that is only a fraction of the group that would get together once or twice a month to scrapbook. I mean, we would normally have 100 plus women who would get together and scrapbook at these events. It was insanely fun. So we would meet at our local church and used a big room. We had a ton of tables set up, and we would all just, sit and we would eat and we would talk and we would play games, and there would be contests and there would be prizes. And the woman who runs it, her name is Karen, and she was just phenomenal. It was always such a fun time, and I really looked forward to it every single month. So I'm going to miss those girls. But that was, that picture is just from a little event that we did together. So I wanted to make sure I got them documented because I missed them already. They were such a great supportive group of women. So I think I pretty much have everything laid out the way I want. That little ticket on the bottom that says admit one has, that was from a card, but I cut into it a little bit before, so I just cut the ticket out and used that as a layering piece instead of as a full card. And what I'm doing right now is, that is a branding strip from that same paper, actually that Amy Tangerine paper, and it says memories documented on it. So I'm going to put that on the bottom of that little card that says jot it down, just to be a little accent and a little pop of blue on the card there. And I always look at my branding strips to see, and that's, the branding strip is at the bottom of the 12x12 paper, and it will tell you the manufacturer's name and usually the name of the product, like what the name of the paper is or something like that. But usually I'm finding many of them now have patterns on the back of them, some sort of pattern that you can use on accents as other pages. So I always check my branding strips, and if it has something cute on the back of it, I always keep it. I just keep it in a little drawer in my desk, and I'll dig into it every once in a while and see what I can find. So I'm getting all these cards lined up. That is an advertisement card from the Studio Calico kit. It tells you what kit it is and all that. And then the back, it has their Studio Calico logo, and the rest of it looks like a pattern piece of paper. So the logo is going to be covered up. So I'm just using that as an extra card. So I'm getting the picture mounted on this Tim and Beck paper. And I'm just going to put it over those two cards there. And these are all just scraps, literally just little scraps, pieces of paper from when I've cut into them for other projects. So I'm getting them all onto a page. And that frame that's underneath my hands right now that says Celebrate Today, that is the very last frame from the Dear Lizzie 4x4 package of frames that came in the kit. So I used every single one of those frames up on my layout. So I was very happy about that. I'm adding a little bit of detail to that card that says write it down because it's very white other than what's in the middle, and everything else has a lot of color in it. So I just want to make sure it's not completely plain so it doesn't stand out too much. I'm just going to go ahead and get this frame stuck down, and I'm going to do my journaling in that card right there. And I'm looking through these wood veneer. I'm trying to find the letters P, C, and C because the group, we met at Pantano Christian Church, which is in Tucson, and that's the church that my family and I attended as well. And so we were called, oh, I did a thumbs up because I used up that package of the frames. The name of the scrapbooking group was Pantano Christian Church Scrapbook Chicks. So my title is going to be Scrapbook Chicks, and then I just put PCC on the top there as well, just to, you know, remind myself where we scrapbooked and what the full name was, but I was not about to write that whole thing out. There was no way. So I'm using these thickers. These are from my stash, and these are American Crafts thickers, and they're called Forest. It's a really nice muted green. So I'm just spelling out Scrapbook Chicks, and I'm using wax paper. And the reason I'm doing that is because I like to put these on, because these are, you know, they have adhesive on the back. So if I put them down on my page, then they're going to be down. And if I try to rip them up, chances are it's going to rip up the page, you know, rip up the paper. So if you put it on a piece of wax paper, this is literally just kitchen wax paper that you buy in the kitchen section at the store. The letters will stick to it and they won't move, but they will come up very easily too because, you know, it's wax paper, so nothing's going to stick to it permanently. So I used that to kind of space out where I wanted my title to go, and I wanted to make sure, you know, when you're using a big font like this and you have uppercase and lowercase and things like that, I want to try to make it so that none of the letters start competing with each other, you know, or overlapping. So like the P and the K there, from like the P from Scrapbook and the K from Chicks, if I had tried to put those in the same spot, it wouldn't have worked, and I would have had to try to move them. So I wanted to make sure that they were nestled together nicely, if you will. So I'm getting my wood veneer letters put down there. And I'm going to go ahead and do my journaling on that card. Man, I miss those girls. I'm looking at that picture. They're such a fun group of ladies. We always had a lot of fun, and now I'm scrapbooking by myself again, and I'm like, oh man, I miss my women. So I'm getting into my wood veneer, and I have these little bird wood veneer shapes, and those are from Studio Calico from a long time ago. And since we're called the Scrapbook Chicks, I'm going to go ahead and put those there because they kind of look like little chicks. And I want to do some hand stitching on here because I've hand stitched on every single other one of my layouts from this kit, so I want to make sure I do that. I'm just kind of looking to see, you know, what do I want to use and where. I think on it for a little bit. So in the meantime, I'm going to put some washi down. Just put a little strip up at the top there. And I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. And then I decide I'm going to do this little arrow. It's nice and subtle, but I didn't want to do anything too big because I do have 6 cards on here and, you know, a bunch of stuff. So I didn't want to do anything that's going to take up too much room. I'm going to do this arrow. I'm going to do it in 3 different spots right up there, right by the title. And they're all pointing in the direction of the picture, so that also helps kind of draw your eye to the picture. And I'm going to use the brown thread that came with that stencil kit. It came with gray and brown, but I used up all the gray on my last layout, so all I have left is brown, which is awesome. I do have some thread of my own just in my stash that I had gotten from a friend a while ago, which I, you know, use when I do hand stitch, but I wanted to make sure I used what came in the kit, so I just stuck with the gray and the brown, and it all worked out perfectly, so very happy. So I got 2 arrows out of that one piece. I gotta get another piece to do the third arrow. And I use washi tape to hold down my thread because I just don't tie knots very well. So I don't have confidence that if I tied a knot, it would stay, or it, it would be loose or something because I wouldn't tie it close enough to the paper. So I just use washi tape and call it done. So I'm going to go ahead and get those little wood veneer chicks down right on my journaling card there. And I'm going to use up some more of these asterisks here. And I'm texting my mom. Oh my goodness. It's really bad when I'm watching shows that my mom watches, and so we start talking about it, and I start texting, and I just, yeah, it happens. At least I'm quick about it, right? Oh yes, I use all of these asterisks. I go ahead and use up done, like gone. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it and use up all of those asterisks. So used up two different packages with this layout. Used up the frames and the asterisks. So yay! And I'm going to stamp the stamp that came in the kit. It says enjoy every minute, because I did enjoy every minute. And I'm texting again. Oh my goodness, Sarah. We're talking about Criminal Minds because I just started watching it. Like, I'm in the first season. So I have a long way to go, I realize, but it just came on Netflix. So I've been wanting to watch it for a while. So my parents watch it. So we've been talking about it a little bit. It's funny because my parents are up to date on it, and I think they're in season like 9 or 10 right now. So I'm in season 1 trying to talk about it, and she's like, yeah, I don't remember that, Sarah. So it's funny. And that's going to complete my page. I'm going to take a look at it for a minute, but I'm not going to add anything else. So thank you so much for joining me, and here's the close-ups, and I will see you again real soon. Bye.